Happy holidays, everybody! Thank you for joining me again for another video corner. My favorite model is back. Tasia's back. So, in honor of the holidays, I want to give you guys this month just a bunch of different videos to help you build up your face painting holiday design book. So here's a design that I came up with centered around the Poinsettia flower, and I decided to choose this one because it's non-denominational. It's just more for the holidays, and you can do a design like this on your own face if you choose to. So what I'm going to do is start off with a little bit of this interference gold. It's like a goldish bronzish color. And close your eyes. I'm going to start off, and I always work on a slant when I'm working in their eyes. So I'm just going to basically stipple in some goldish right in her eyes, just heading upwards. And then I'm going to flip my sponge around and load some green on that end, just so that I can have a little bit of an accent of a green color on the edge of her eye. And I'm going to flip my sponge downward. Instead of working like this or like this with the flat side, I'm going to use kind of that edge to just go in there and kind of press in that color on a slant. And I'll go back in with my, if you can turn it a little bit this way, I'm going to go back in with my gold just to kind of dull it out. That way it's not as strong. So I'm just using the edge of my sponge to just kind of come out and shade her eyelid, and then I'm going to go in with the back of my sponge and just kind of blend it out. Okay, if you can turn to so I can do it on the other side. So again, I'm just using the edge of this sponge and just getting some of that green, and then to lighten it up or to blend it out, I'm just going to turn my sponge back over and stipple in some more color. So now what she has, if you can look right at the camera, is just some goldish greenish eyes. So I'm just going to drag that extra green down and drag it down on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load it up with some red. Turn a little bit this way. What I'm going to do is start off on a slant, bring it in, start off on the other side, and bring it in. So that's going to be my first leaf, and I'm going to make 4 of them. So again, I'm just going to come out and then bring it back in. Turn a little bit more this way. Out on the tip, kind of press down, bring it back in, and then I'm going to do the same thing across the bottom. So now I have 4 petals. So what I'm going to do is just fill in between with smaller petals using my same brush. So what I'm going to want to do is right in between, I'm going to fill in with smaller petals. Down, press, pull in, down, pull in, down, pull in. And from this angle, I'm sorry if it's a little crooked, guys. It's a little bit hard painting from behind, but that's okay. The thing that I'm going to want to do with this design is just add a little bit of holly in the background to this design of the Poinsettia. And what you're going to do is connect a series of U's. And I have a Christmas holly video up in my video corner, and you can watch that if you need some help getting your holly perfected. So right from behind it, I'm going to make a U, a U, a U, a U, a U, a U, and connect these. I'm going to fill in. So I made a pretty big one, and then right out of it, I'm going to make a smaller one. U, U, U. It's okay if the second leaf is hidden, and I'm just going to fill that in. And remember, your shapes don't always have to be perfect every time. That's what outlining really does, is that it fixes the design. So if you can turn a little bit this way. So again, I'm just going to do U, U, U. Connect U, U, U. And I'm going to make another one, U, U, U. That's funny, right? Okay, so now I have my poinsettia, the holly leaves, and I'm going to just create some swirls and curls to finish it off, and then we'll do all the outlining at one time. So I'm going to just create dots of different sizes right in the middle of my poinsettia, and they're typically yellow. So I just added kind of that burst in there, and I'm going to add a little bit more like in this area. Turn a little bit more this way, thank you. In this area right diagonal above her eye. It's just a filler. If you've watched enough of my videos, then you know that I'm big into the dots. I think they just kind of even out the design. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some swirls and curls around the eyes just to dress it up and kind of tie in the entire design. I'm going to outline. So if you can turn a little bit this way. So I started the corner of the eye very straight, swirl up, and just bring my teardrops into the corner of the eye. Then I do the same thing on the other side. Swirl up into the eye. Bring it in, just like that. Thank you. Now what I'm going to do is just give my poinsettia and the holly just a tad bit of an outline. So very lightly I'm going to go in and I'm going to give it an outline. Holly. If you can turn a little bit towards me. Thank you. I'm going to give this again another outline. That way you ultimately are fixing the shape, any mishaps you may have made. And now what I'm going to do is give my poinsettia an outline with a little bit. You can either go darker or lighter with the color, and I'm going to go just a little bit lighter red to give it that outline. So I'm going to start with the 4 biggest leaves. So I'm just going to give it that outline. And then I'm going to give these a slighter outline right in the corners. And then I'm just going to give it a final little outline with white around my flower, and then embellish the sides a little bit more. Can you turn a little bit more towards me? So all I'm going to do is just give it the slightest little outline as well. So I'm just going to fill in a little bit in this area with some white dots here too. Oops, right in there. And then right underneath her eye, I'm just going to make very small dots of different sizes leading into her eye. And I'm going to do this on this side too, using the tip of my brush. The harder you press, the larger the dots are going to be. Just bring it all the way in. That way it kind of connects this design. And then of course, there's like a couple of things that you have to do to finish any design. One would be glitter, because I mean, come on. Who doesn't love glitter? I hope you do, Tasia. Even when it falls on her nose a little bit. Sorry about that. And then, of course, she's got to have some lipstick. So that just kind of brings the whole design together. So I'm just going to use this kind of fuchsia red lipstick. Look at these lips. People pay for those, man. And then I'm going to add just a few dots to her lip, just as that little added touch. And this is definitely an optional step. Just in the corner. And then you have a beautiful poinsettia Christmas design to use for this holiday season.